Young and the Restless spoilers December 8th. Victor strikes, Phyllis warns. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, December 8th, send Victor on yet more revenge against Matt/Mitch, while Phyllis has a hot tip for Adam. Key takeaways. Victor makes sure Matt can't fight back. Phyllis tells Adam he's on the wrong track. Kane makes a new friend, or is that ally? Next on YNR. There is nothing Victor's, Eric Braden, magic computer program can't do. First, he brought Kane, Billy Flynn, to his knees. Then he went after Matt/Mitch, Roger Howarth. With the flick of a switch, the touch of a button, or the tap of a finger, the exact mechanism is still unclear. Victor wiped Matt/Mitch from the internet, taking all his money, wiping out all his property, and rendering him a cyberspace unperson. He can do that. He's Victor. And the fact that the actual technology was developed by Kane, that doesn't count. It's similar to how Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, gave birth to Victor's children. But he still takes all the credit for their fabulousness. More, why Matt Clark's reign of terror isn't over. The wrong move. If Victor weren't around, Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, who captured a hilarious moment with Santa, would be the person in Genoa City who was always right and always knew everything. At least, she keeps telling people that's who she is. This week, it's Adam's, Mark Grossman, turn, as Phyllis fills him in on all the bad life choices he's made, and why she has so many better suggestions for him. Listen to Phyllis. She never makes a mistake. Even when other people insist she has. It's all part of a much larger plan, which is going to come together any minute now. We go together. Kane, on the other hand, hasn't been able to make a correct move since he returned to the canvas. You'd think a guy who built a multi-million-dollar business from scratch would be more astute. Or, at least, better with people. But Kane keeps failing. And losing. He's due for a break. And his latest compatriot may be just the break Kane has been looking for. It might even be someone close to Victor. Who has power over him. Nobody else does. The morning sun crept over the Genoa City skyline, casting a gold wash across Newman Tower, calm on the outside, but within its polished walls, a storm was already gathering. Victor Newman stood near the window of his office, hands clasped behind his back, watching the city as though it were a chessboard and he the only player who understood the rules. His jaw tightened. They had underestimated him. The folder on his desk contained documents, evidence, leverage, or maybe simply possibilities. With Victor, it was always hard to tell where reality ended and strategy began. Today, though, his intentions were clear. He was about to strike. Victor's move. Adam had pushed too far. Nick had withdrawn too much. Victoria had assumed too much. And in Victor's world, assumptions were fatal. He turned when he heard the knock. "Come in," he said, voice low and controlled. Victoria entered, poise perfect, eyes sharp. "I got your message. What's this about?" Victor studied her carefully. Her confidence was one of her greatest tools, and one of her also greatest weaknesses. "I'm making changes," he said. Victoria stiffened. "Changes to what?" "To Newman Enterprises," Victor replied. "And to this family." There it was, the bombshell delivered with the calm precision of a surgeon. "Dad, I hope you're not acting out of anger. We've been working hard to rebuild stability. The company, Victor interrupted, is becoming complacent." He moved toward his desk, tapping the folder. "And complacency invites betrayal." Victoria's eyes narrowed. "Are you implying someone's betrayed you?" Victor gave a slow, deliberate smile. "My dear, in business, betrayal isn't an event. It's a habit." He slid the folder toward her. "Read it." She hesitated, then opened it. Whatever she saw made her inhale sharply. This can't be right," she whispered. Victor merely watched her. "It's right." "And you think Adam?" Victor lifted a hand. "I don't think. I know." Victoria looked back down at the documents, dread mixing with the thrill of being trusted with such explosive information. "What are you planning to do?" she asked. Victor turned back toward the window. "I'm going to remind everyone," he said, "why the name Newman still commands respect." A chill ran through the room. Victor Newman wasn't just planning a strike. He already had the target locked. Phyllis's warning. Across Genoa City, Phyllis Summers paced the floor of Crimson Lights, tapping her nails against her coffee cup. Not because she needed the caffeine, Phyllis ran on adrenaline and instinct, but because she had news. Troublesome news. Dangerous news. And only one person was going to want to hear it. When the door opened, she looked up. Tucker McCall strolled in, his expression unreadable, though he lifted a brow at the sight of her. "You look like someone who's about to set the room on fire," he said. "Should I be worried?" "You should always be worried," Phyllis replied. "Especially today." Tucker pulled out a chair. "All right. Impress me." Phyllis leaned forward, lowering her voice. "Victor knows." Tucker's smirk froze. "Knows what?" "Don't play dumb with me," Phyllis hissed. "He's connecting dots you hoped would stay scattered." Tucker sat back slowly, his easy front fading. "What exactly did you hear?" Phyllis sighed dramatically. "Do you know how exhausting it is being the only person in this town with functioning instincts? Timelines. Conversations. Behavior patterns. Victor's asking questions, those very specific questions he only asks when he's 1 inch away from blowing someone's world apart." Tucker's eyes darkened. "And you're warning me? Why?" "Because," Phyllis said, folding her arms, "I don't want to be collateral damage. And let's face it, you may be infuriating, manipulative, and allergic to honesty, but you're not boring. Watching Victor eat you alive would be anticlimactic." A reluctant grin tugged at Tucker's lips. "You care. Don't flatter yourself." She rose from her seat, giving him a hard look. "Find a way to get ahead of this before Victor does. If he's coming for you, he won't miss." And with that, she turned and walked out, leaving Tucker with a warning that felt less like advice and more like a ticking fuse. Adam's dilemma. Adam Newman sat in society, staring into a drink he hadn't touched. Something felt off. His father had been distant, more than usual, and that silence often preceded an earthquake. Sally slid into the seat across from him. "Okay, that face doesn't go with a martini." "What's wrong?" Adam sighed. "My father's planning something." "Isn't he always?" she teased lightly. "No," Adam said, shaking his head. "This is different. He's been moving pieces, subtle pieces. Conversations he's having. Conversations he's not having. It feels like he's preparing to make a move."